gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let me show you who the love of your life truly is. I'm about to reveal it to you right here in this video. Doubts? No worries. Before we dive in, if you haven't followed me yet, tap that red plus button above my picture on the right side of your phone. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the heart to show some love for this video. I appreciate it. Now let's get started.
Hey, and welcome to everyone to Jingle and Mingle with TeaCup Rose, Monday evening. Thank you so much. I have a treat for you? I have my co-host, of course, DJ Tejana H and DJ Roland Martinez are joining me in the studio today. So thank you guys very much for joining us in this wonderful, wonderful evening, bringing the one and the only my hometown boy, T-Town, Mr. Johnny Hernandez. We are so and super excited to hear his story. And this podcast, just wanted to explain a little bit to you, is this podcast is bringing the musicians and artists and DJs and everybody that's in the music industry and their bands and the roadies that help make them successful so that they can get to know them a little bit more personal. So you'll be hearing their personal stories on this podcast. So thank you to Hunter Live Radio for having me, TeaCup Rose, to be your hostess tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, yes, we do have a treat. And you want to go ahead and call him on and say,
I do want to call Johnny on, but let's also put on his first song, Díganle.
All right. Then that's what we'll do right here on the Hunter Live Radio. I hope you all are ready to enjoy the show right here with the Hunter Live.
Llegan a ver si quiere ya volver, que ni lo piense. Díganle que el amor que yo le daba ayer hoy no se vende. Y aunque a mi corazón ya lo enseñé a olvidar, ya no la quiere. Aunque no hay que pasar, díganle que no hay ni la esperanza, que ya no existe en mí, que gracias yo le di a la distancia. Y si llegan a notar o llegan a preguntarme si la quiero, dile que no y que no, dile que no y que no. Mejor me muero. And she wants to return, tell her forget it. Tell her the love I had to give her yesterday has gone away.
Gracias. What a voice. Wow. Very gifted, Johnny. Very gifted.
Hi, we're back too. Oh my God, that was wonderful. Roland, what do you think? Let's call him on the board. Are you ready for
You
him, Rosa?
you got
Yes,
a
I'm
you
ready
got a
for
true
yes.
legend.
We are ready. We are ready for Mr. Johnny
Everybody
Hernandez.
out there, let's give it to him
Yes,
right now. Give it to him.
yes.
Give it to him. Here he is, Johnny Hernandez.
Welcome,
Hello.
Johnny. Super
Ah,
excited.
good to see you guys, Laura, and my
Hello.
hometown lady, Rose, and my brother. How you doing,
¿Qué
Roland?
pasó, brother? Love you,
Yeah, it's
man.
always good to see you. I love you too, Carnal. Yes, we've been doing some things together for many years now. And it's good to see you. And you ladies, how's
Yeah,
everybody?
We're
We
we're
wonderful.
good.
all here rocking and rolling, getting ready for this great interview with you. We're excited for all the 411, all the new history, new information, and what you got coming towards us.
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes,
thank you
yes.
so much for the invitation.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I'm very impressed with your show. As
Thank you.
it was so exciting, the intro that I was waiting to see it. The introduction is so cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so go
Yeah.
TeaCup, ask him some questions. Get
Okay,
us the
Johnny, we're just getting ready
411.
to go over some things. Like I said before, this is about you. Toda esta es tu historia, Johnny. So we want you to
Thank you.
share with us, a little bit about how you got into this business. Your upbringing. Some of your favorite parts of what you do, and who was your big influencer. So just
Mhm.
kind of take it away, Johnny. It's yours. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I started very young. Uh, Around 1958, I started sitting in with bands, and I wasn't part of Little Joe and the Latiners yet, but I grew up listening to English and Spanish music all the time, and I was influenced by the Platters and Flamingos and Drifters, as well as by Nat King Cole and Sinatra, and just a mixture of great top 40 music. They used to call it top 40, and the standards that I still listen to and sing at home, as the and but my first influence was my father. Pop used to sing, and his brother, they were troubadours. So we used to, as kids, we used to watch them perform at the house, and they'd go out and they'd sing in Las Jamaicas and Cinco de Mayos and bars, and they became quite legendary. My father was known as La Cotorra, and his brother La Araña, and they were legendary. So that's where we all got the the influence of singing, and it just kind of became natural. But in 1958, Jimmy Clinton recorded "Just a Dream," and I just fell in love with it. And I'd sing it with the Latineers that let me sit in, and other bands that would come to Temple, I would sit in with them. So I started gathering a fan base with that song. That "Just a Dream" is because I sing it, and Joe, let Johnny sing it. I'd get up. Then when I joined the band in 1962, well, then I could sing it on a regular basis, and that one song really that got me on stage and helped create a small fan base at the time, and become a regular with the Latineers, and I owe it all to Jimmy Clinton and that beautiful song.
That is so awesome.
That
That's so
is awesome.
awesome.
Yes, yes. And so, what is your favorite part of what you do? I mean, as an entertainer, with
My
humble,
favorite what?
what is the
Oh,
favorite part that you do? What
well, I have
is
a couple. Yeah,
okay?
yeah. I love working with musicians. I think the world of musicians, and you know, I'm sorry.
No, you have the Lord.
Okay, okay. I thought somebody.
No,
I love working with musicians on stage, but I really love is working in the recording studio. You can go into the recording studio,
I think we lost you, Tony.
Yeah, we lost him. Oh, but that's okay. That's okay.
You know
So,
what? We have a video that we can play while we get
yeah,
Tony
let's
back
play
on.
that while he
Let's do
comes
that
back
video.
on.
Yes, it's a 7.
Thank you.
Para mi novia, que es mi amiga y compañera. Para mí ella es hermosa y bella. Ella es mi amiga, ella es mi amor. Agarrados de la mano mano de Dios, vamos juntos sin ningún temor, compañeros de gran valor. Valentina, gracias, gracias, mi amor. Para mi novia, quiero ser contigo historia de los días que me diste y que te di, la alegría que contigo conocí. Esta canción es para ti, para mi novia. Para mi novia, que es mi amiga y compañera. Para mí ella es hermosa y bella. Eres mi amiga, eres mi amor. Agarrados de la mano de Dios, vamos juntos sin ningún temor, compañeros de gran valor. Valentina, gracias, gracias, mi amor. Para mi novia, quiero ser contigo historia de los días que me diste que te vi, la alegría que contigo conocí. Esta canción es para ti, para mi novia. Para mi novia, para mi novia, yeah. Esta canción es para ti, Valentina, mi novia.
Thank you for joining us in.
There you are.
We appreciate you tuning in, and to all our listeners. This podcast would not be possible without you. So I thank you. Les doy las gracias, Leo, porque tenemos gente que nos escucha de México, de Venezuela, de los Estados Unidos, de California. You know, it's just everywhere. We are nationwide radio. So we thank you for listening in. Johnny, take it away.
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
We can
Yeah,
hear you.
hey, Johnny, can you tell us a little bit about that last song? Why did you call it that? And what made you think that? It's not because you had some girlfriend, right? No, I'm playing.
Well, I'll tell you how it came about.
All right, tell me how.
You know, recently I was the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Tejano Music Award. So Valentina and I went to receive the award. And there was a gentleman there that I didn't know he was there. And he owns a record label, a magazine, a publishing company, a media company, Marca Triunfo Latino by el señor Joey Guerrero, Jose Guerrero.
Yeah.
And he was there in the audience, but we didn't get to meet and we didn't talk or anything like that. So I thanked everybody, you know, when I got up to say thank you for the award. And at the very last, I said thank you to my sweetheart, Valentina Estrada, for all the work she's done, unyielding support throughout the, 25 years. And everything she does for me, that whether it's putting together videos, bookings, or flights, or, showing me how to do something on the laptop, everything.
Yes.
And he was so taken by it that when I got home a couple of days later, Valentina called me and she said, I got a call from a gentleman, and he was at the awards, and he would like to talk to you. He said he was so taken by your recognizing me that he wrote a song for us, and he'd appreciate it if you gave him a call. So I said, well, if you took the time to call, I'll do the courtesy of returning the call, you know. So she gave me the number, and I called him, and he introduced himself, and we got to talking. So he explained that he was just so impressed that I would recognize Valentina in that way, and that he went home and he wrote a song about us, and would I like to listen to it? And I said, well, yeah, I said, send it to me. I'll check it out. So immediately, I had it a few minutes later, you know,
Mhm.
and I listened to it, and I loved it immediately. I love the lyrics and the melody, the message, but I really liked the production, the music behind it. It's to me, I don't know if it was Spaniard, Gypsy, Central Americana. You know, it was a mixture of everything. It was international, and I really hadn't done a track like that. And the message was great. The lyrics are good. So I called him back immediately, and I said, you know, Joey, I love your song. Um,
Wow.
I'll be happy to record it. And then he said, you know, I can put in a horn section and strings or whatever you like. Like, no, he said, leave it exactly the way it is. That's why I like it, because it sounds international. To me, it sounds like a gypsy song or algo español, or, you know, I just, I was taken by it. I said, no, I like it exactly the way it is. So he said, okay, if that's how you want it. So then he sent me the music to Modesto. I found a recording studio, and I did the vocal tracks over here in Modesto. And that's how that came about.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. We have some people out there wanting to say hello. I'm going to go really quick. Your love, of course, Valentina Estrada out there. Anna, hello, Anna. Is Sonin out there in RGV, Vicky V. We have
Renee Signs,
Renee Signs out there. Hi, Renee. Is it a cold over there and snowing? uh,
South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, South
Yes.
and then out there in New York, Nelson Roman, and then we have let's see
Sal
who
and El
else.
Paso.
Yes, yes, we have a lot of people out there. Says let's see who else.
And
Oh,
sitting.
Belen Ruby Red, Lori Phillips. Thank you all for tuning in. If I miss anyone, please excuse me, but I'm scrolling through as fast as I can to make sure we get that through to y'all. But thank you for that. Thank you for bringing it to our knowledge. You know, a lot of people I learned today. I went to the museum today this weekend, and I learned. I'm born in '75, so you know everybody learned something new. It was so neat. So in 1966, the 96 Tears, I thought that was like an American band. I had no idea. So when we were there with Roger, he was like, girl, you can learn you some history. So I learned some
I have a
history.
little story
Yeah,
about that
tell
song.
me. Tell me.
We were playing in Saginaw, Michigan. We were little during the Latin years at the time, and they said we have an opening band for you guys, young kids, and they're real good, and they're different, and they're going to open for you guys. So we said okay. So they said, "What's the name of the band?" I said, "Question Mark and the Mysterians." I said,
Wow.
"Really? Okay. Well, so, yeah." So we were watching them as they were performing,
Yeah.
and we loved them, of course. They thought, and then they came up with the song. They performed "96 Tears." And we got to talking, and they had just recorded it. And a few months later, it was a worldwide hit, you know. But yeah, they were very nice, good guys. Some of
Nice.
them were from San Antonio, and I still keep in touch with Question Mark. Every now and then we talk a little bit.
Oh, that is so cool. Big shout out to Joe Liao out
Was that
there.
the band that opened up with for the Beatles at one time? Wasn't
Yes.
Serious? They were with the Beatles.
Well, what it was, they were going for the for number one. They were battling number one for their, like, they kept on going back and forth as from what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, correct me, but that's what that's
Yeah.
what Rogers was explaining to me. Hey, so yeah, 96 Tears was holding number one twice, 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, and then they would come back up and then they were knocking each other back and forth
Wow,
off.
that's pretty cool. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Johnny,
it's a humongous hit,
yeah,
mega hit, really.
yeah. Well, let's bring it back to you, Johnny. You
Yes.
know, there is you've played in a lot of places with a lot of people, and I know that some things don't always go right. What is one of the funniest things that you remember?
Well, a lot of things happen
I
on the
love your
road,
laugh,
for
by the way.
sure.
That must be good.
But yeah, I have a story for you, and it involves both me and Valentina. Hi, Valentina.
Okay.
How you doing, sweetheart? You know, it's um, it's funny, and I met her 2000, I think, 2001, and she hired me for a concert there in San Jose, and it was a great concert, oldies concert, and Al Wilson was playing, show and tell, and Brenton Wood and Los Hermanos that passed away now from Tierra, Rudy and Steve, and it was a great concert. So after the concert, she says, "You know what, Johnny? I'd like to do a concert with you and Al Wilson again in San Bernardino." And I was living in Sacramento, California at the time. Valentina was living in San Jose. And I said, "Yeah, set it up, we'll do it." And she said, "Okay." So a week or so later, she calls me and tells me, "Okay, we're going to do a concert in San Bernardino. And here's the information, the venue, and here's where we're going to stay. So let's get there about the same time. Because she went on her own and I went on my own. Let's arrive at the motel at the same time. uh, and check in. And she said, "Just ask the people at the desk for your room. It's in your name." So I said, "Okay." So I drove over there from Sacramento, and she drove from San Jose. And I get there, and I walk in and say, "Hello." And I say, "You have a room for me? My name is Johnny Hernandez." And they said, "Oh, yeah, okay." And it was upstairs. I think it was something like room 210, upstairs. So I said, "Okay, fine." And I'm looking at my watch and I'm thinking, well, she should be here already. We synchronized that we'd get there at the same time. And so I went into the room and got my things in and then waited for her and nothing. And I waited for her again, kept waiting and nothing. So several minutes later, I'm saying, I wonder. So I called her and I said, "Hey, Valentina, are you okay?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, where are you at?" She said, "I'm in the room." And I said, "No, you're not." I said, "I'm in the room and you're not in here." And she said, "No, I'm in the room and you're not in here." I said, I said, "What? That's insane."
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I don't see you anywhere. And she said, "Well, I'm looking for you and you're not here either. And did you check in? Yeah. Did you ask for my room number? Yeah." And what happened was I checked in and one guy was there and he gave me a room. By the time she checked in, I guess another one took his place and gave her a different room. And the funny thing was that I had like room 210 on the second floor, and she had room 110 right under me. And we were in two different rooms, and we were both saying, "No, I'm in the room. You're not here." And she was saying, "I'm insisting that I'm in the room and you're not in here." So we finally figured it out. And when she found out what was happening, we cracked up. What are the odds of getting two rooms, one on top of the other, and both of us in there looking for each other,
That's
So that was hilarious. It was so funny.
um,
But a lot of things happen on the road.
oh my goodness. I do have someone out there, Renee Signs. I'm pretty sure you know Renee out there. and but he
Hola,
said
Rene.
I met little Joe and Rocky and Johnny at Holland, Michigan with Los Zinnigas in 1976. Man, I was only 2 years old. Puro history or history for real. Badass Chicano sound ever. History in
I
Renee.
remember. I
You
remember playing in Holland.
Tell us about it, Johnny.
Yeah,
In
tell us
Holland.
about it.
Tell us
Well,
what Holland
we
is.
used to go to Chicago and Milwaukee and Saginaw, Michigan, and all around Detroit, and we'd pass through Holland a lot. That's why I remember.
Yeah.
This one time we went and played there, and it was beautiful. And they got us some rooms right next to a river. It was just a beautiful setting, like
Yeah.
when you go on vacation,
Yeah.
And I in my mind, I remember the hall that we played in, and it was a great night. So Renee, I remember playing in Holland, So it's a long time ago. We were hippies
Awesome.
at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
do you want to play a little music for
Let's play a
everybody?
little bit of music. Yes.
What we're going to do for everybody out there? Tell me.
El Rancho Grande.
El
That's my
Rancho
favorite.
Era.
That's my favorite.
Oh,
right
wow.
here. Here it goes.
Taking you back.
Allá en el rancho grande, allá en el rancho grande, allá en el rancho grande, allá donde vivía, había una rancherita que alegre me decía, te voy a hacer tus canciones como las que usa el ranchero en los comienzos del lana, de lo sacado de cuero. El gusto de los rancheros es tener su buen caballo, ensillarlo por la tarde, pasearse por el vallado. Su mamá le dice a Julia, que te di, pues el señor, ay, 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 ay. Mamá no me dijo nada, nomás me trata de amor, ay, 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 ay.
Oh, yeah, bailamos. Allá en el rancho.
You want to hear a little
Johnny,
story
I love
about that?
your voice.
Yes.
You
Tell us.
a little
Tell us.
story about how that came about. Well, I was living in Dallas at the time, and Johnny Gonzalez that just passed away shortly here, owner of Sarape Records, was visiting with me in my apartment, and we were talking, and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm putting some songs together to record." And I said, "You know what? I think I'm going to record a Rancho Grande." And he says, "Oh, Johnny, that's a great song." And he said, "You know what? You should start it like," and he went like this. He said, "Allá en el Rancho Grande, allá en el Rancho Grande, allá en el Rancho Grande." And I was listening to him. I said, "You know what? That's a good idea." So when Bob Gallarza, the late great Bob Gallarza, and I got together he produced my album, I told him about the idea that Jenny Gonzalez had told me. He said, "You know what? That's a good idea." So he arranged it. That's how that intro came about. And
Oh, wow.
the other part of the story is I told you we grew up listening to Pop sing and his brother. And
Yeah.
a lot of the songs that were recorded in the early days were songs we learned from them. So I learned it from him. So I just recorded it from what I learned. And I forget who I was talking to one time, and he was listening to it, and he says, "Hey, where'd you get that part? Su mamá le dice Julia, su mamá le dice Julia." I said, "Well, I mean, it's El Rancho Grande, it's a song." He go, "Yeah," he go, "but that's not part of the song." He said, "Really?" Really? I said, "Oh," I said, "Well, you know what? What happened was Pop wrote a lot of songs,
Yeah.
and when he was singing that song, he just decided to inject. He wrote that little verse into it,
Yeah.
and that's how I learned it. So I thought it was part of the song, and Pop wrote part of that little "Su mamá le dice a Julia que te dijo ese señor," and I was shocked. I thought it was part of the song. So it's just a great song.
We
Yes,
love
it
your
is.
version, Johnny. We love your version of that.
Yes.
And of
Yes,
course,
it's
it's a
wonderful.
fun, so I love it. I love it.
Johnny, refresh my memory. L.A. County Fair. Didn't you show up over there?
I was just thinking about it before we
I
went
was looking
on.
for that picture. I was looking to tell you a story when I was with being at radio, but I need a radio. Mel Mad Dog. They rented a booth out there. He goes, Roland, I want you to come down a weekend and help promote, push the music out there. I ended up staying the whole month, thanks to
Wow.
Hacienda. Thanks to Hacienda Records, and I remember you showing up, and Bob Gayasa came out there promoting the music.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'll never forget that. Back in
yeah. I
'09,
think I was
September of '09.
'09. Okay,
Yep.
I must have been living in Modesto, or ni me acuerdo. I've lived in so many places, but oh no, I was hanging around East LA. I stayed there a year to get to know everybody and everything in Monterey Park, and that's when I came down there, and we had a really good time. And as far as I know, we were the first to take the kind of music out there like that. Is that correct,
Yep.
Roland? You were the first.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. We were
yeah,
trying to show the Honda music, and all they knew was Little Joe and Freddie Fender. That's all the people had. Little Joe, Freddie Fender, Texas
yeah,
Tornadoes. But we were
yeah. Well, you
pushing.
know,
I
like
mean,
I said, we've been going through. We started going to California and all Southwest in like '64, and we played La Alejandria Hotel in downtown LA, Clark Hotel downtown LA, then the Hollywood Palladium, and then we play all around the little towns around LA. So we've been taking our music out there since the early '60s, and
yeah.
then not just in East LA, but all the way up uh, through Central California, Santa Maria and Bakersfield and all of that, and then on up to Modesto, San Jose, San Francisco,
Yeah.
and Oakland,
Well,
and
I got
all
family in
around.
San Jose, and we did a reunion back in '05, and my first time there. And next to my grandma's house, and one of the Tigres del Norte lived next door.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. In fact, another story. We were playing downtown San Jose one of the years, and they said we have conjunto to start now, and they're gonna kick off. I said, great, eran los Tigres del Norte.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So
I got a
we've known
picture of
them
my
since
mom
they
and dad with
started.
them. Rest in peace. But
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, we got our DJ out there in California. He'll be on tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. Raimundo Talavera, man,
He's
great
looking
guy.
in right
He's
now.
saying
He's
hello.
live right now.
Hello.
But I told my wife we need to
Oh,
go to California.
Raimundo's a dear friend of mine.
Yeah.
I even
Yeah,
spent the night at his house one time that I came in.
Wow.
I
Wow.
flew in and it was late, and he invited me to stay there. He and his
yeah.
wife were beautiful people. Yeah, wonder. And I went and did a little singing with my tracks at his radio
At a
station in
studio.
San Jose.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Awesome.
outside actually. Yeah, he's a dear friend. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, he's
Aw.
a sweetheart.
Yes, he
But
is. Love
yeah,
doing the mornings with
when
him.
when I went out to the family reunion, he invited me. Man, come do a show with me. Come do our show. But we're 2 hours different. He wanted me to go at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Man, I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what to do that.
That's when it
That's
starts.
great.
He
It,
says
Yeah.
bye, Johnny, right there.
Johnny,
Bye, Johnny.
in the essence of time, there's a couple of people I want to do a shout out to. Dora
Okay.
Gina Sarsa, Lisa Trevino out of Pearsall, and Gloria Rodriguez Cordova from originally from Temple, but now in Lubbock. They said a special shout out, special hello to you. So
hello, Lubbock, and it's we started playing Lubbock in '62, I think, and it's called Lovica.
love.
Affectionately, Lovica.
That's cute. That's cute. Okay. So, Johnny, tell us about what you have. One, if there's anybody that you want to give a shout out to, but also tell us about what you have coming up, that anything that you want to share with us.
Well, it's interesting because they're working with the Señor Joey Guerrero. Um, he's produces concerts throughout several states, and we're planning the dates and how to kick it off. And he wants to start with the band that's backing me up that I work with, a Big Band Tejano. You were there to dance in Round
Yes.
Rock.
Yes.
He wants to take us to North Carolina, and in fact, we were going to be there in April, but the weather being what it is, it just wasn't possible. So we're going to move it up to around the Cinco de Mayo celebration, and that's a very exciting thing to me because a couple of things. One, he wants to take us along with other artists from different genres, but he wants us to be like ambassadors of Tejano music, and that's exciting. And two, because I want to take Big Ben Tejano to
Awesome.
back me up in all these concerts, and so we're looking forward to that. And the recording, of course, is just brand new para mi novia, Valentina. Was shocked when she heard it, and Señor Joey, I call him Joey, es Jose Guerrero. He did such a fine job in writing that song because we have been together for 25 years, and she has been my rock, and the lyrics kind of describe our lives, and I'm just excited about being able to play it live. Once we start doing this concert, I'm going to get the band to learn it live, and it's going to be a thrill for me. And then I'm going to be going back to Texas. I've been talking to some promoters out there. Dates to be, I was just in Victoria, San Antonio, and these things repeat themselves every so many months.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah.
Yeah. And you had
And one thing I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Okay. And I want to say hello to my son Ira and his wife Jennifer and the kids and everybody in Temple. But after so many years of being in the studio, and my son Ira started, went to school for music and everything. I had never collaborated with him until recently. I told him, I'm up in age and my career, 63 years old, the career, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going. I'd like to do something with you together, because he does all his recordings, all his productions. He's got his equipment and everything. And he said, yeah, I'd love to do something. So I had been wanting to write a Christmas song for a long time, probably 15 years at least, And I gave it a couple of shots, a couple of times, and nothing would come. And then all of a sudden, in August, it just came. I mean, fast. I wrote it like in 15, 20 minutes. It's called Christmas Day Cruising. And no, I'm sorry, not in August, just recently. I'm thinking about another song I wrote in August, down on the boulevard. So anyway, I called him and I said, I have this song. And I just sent it to him raw with me on the piano singing it and a drum machine so he could hear the beat to stop. And I said, put something together for me. And he did a magnificent job on it. I mean, it sounds like Christmas. It's a real Christmas song. And I said, wow, so I went about back and forth, just fix this and how about some of this and that. But he did a great job. And then he sent me the tracks and I did the vocals with a friend of mine here in, I'm getting the studios confused here. I looked for a studio and I found a new studio that I wanted to do the vocals on, and went and did the vocals here in Modesto, and then had it mixed and mastered in San Bernardino, all around. But I'm very excited about that song because I really wanted to write something for Christmas, the holidays. And I tried for so many years and I never could. And normally when a song really comes, I usually write them in about 20, 30 minutes at the most, And
Can we share that with them now?
Yeah, let's share that music with you now, Johnny, and then we'll be back.
I would appreciate that very much,
Okay.
We're cruising on Christmas Day. We're caroling all the way. Come one, come all, let's have a ball. We're cruising on Christmas Day. We're cruising on Christmas Day. We're caroling all the way. Come one, come all, let's have a ball. We're cruising on Christmas Day. Children are gathered all around the Christmas tree. Parents elated just to see the children's glee. It's Christmas Day, we're filled with Christmas joy. 'Cause Santa's brought some toys for every girl and boy. Oh, what a day it is to ride a one-horse sleigh with friends and family, cookies and candy cane. We're cruising on this awesome Christmas Day, cruising and laughing down old Santa Claus Lane. Christmas spirit is in the air, people singing everywhere. All my neighbors congregate as Christmas we celebrate. We're We're cruising on Christmas Day. We're caroling all the way. Come on, let's have a ball. We're cruising on Christmas Day.
Wow, that is just beautiful. And you did that in 15 minutes. This is what I love of what I'm bringing is the talent behind the songs that, I would think that took forever, but you're so gifted, Johnny, that you did it in
Oh, thank you.
short
You
time.
know, as
Easy to me.
a friend of mine, Al Aleman, the saxophone player,
Uh-huh.
lives here. My buddy here is doing the vocals on the bass voice. I'm doing the harmonies, and Valentina was supposed to be on this. She was going to do an octave on top.
Okay.
Like she's been on some of my recordings, and right when it was time to do it, she fell ill. She was feeling real sick, and
Oh no.
she couldn't do it. She was going to book a studio in Vegas, and I was going to send the tracks over there. And she said, "I'm sorry, I'm really sick. I can't do it." I said, "Well, I'm running out of time here. I got to go on and finish it." But she was supposed to be in there. My
Wow.
partner in crime.
Wow. Your partner in crime. And
Yeah,
Alabama. I have one of those.
te digo.
We all need one of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know it. That's awesome.
But that's how that song came about, and
Okay.
it,
Okay.
Johnny,
I'm just, huh?
we're in LA County Fair. Didn't you do that show with Rudy Palacios up there? Were you part of that show? I think at the VFW or somewhere one weekend or no?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I remember Rudy Palacios. He goes, "Man, what are you doing up here?" I said, "I came up here listening to music. Man, small world. You go anywhere." I said, "Yeah." But it
Yeah,
was at the
really.
VFW.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they asked us to go out there and you know who was on there? I mean, Steve Salas from Tierra.
yeah, that's right.
That's
That's right.
yeah,
From
and,
Tierra.
and Little Henry, and what happened is I was just hanging around, and they asked me to, "You want to be part of the show?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
My whole career has been like that. As when Joe first, my brother Jess is the one that uh, that hired me into the band. He drafted me into the Latineers, you know, and Jesse wrote the song Ramona, and Little Joe wrote just, "Little Girl in My Dreams." And while they were learning them, I was just sitting there. As always, I was just hanging out and seeing what was going on with the band, and I was new and everything. And then we went to San Antonio, and I went with him. And Jesse turns around and says, "I want you to sing Ramona," just out of nowhere. It's like they throw you in the water, you got to swim. So okay, but I had learned it from listening to it. So I recorded it, and then Joe turned around and said, "I want you to sing 'Little Girl of My Dreams,'" and I said, "Okay." So, and that's how that came about. And another time, as an example, years later, we're going to Corpus Christi to Macho Camacho boxing. His manager used to be a good friend of ours. And he asked Joe to sing the national anthem. So I never sang that national anthem, He had me either. And Joe said, "Yeah." So we're in the bus on our way to Corpus. And Joe turns around and says, "I want you to sing it." I said, "I don't know the national anthem." And it was deep water this time. They threw me in some deep water. And I don't know it. I said, "Well, can't you get it?" And we made a stop somewhere, and I called my daughter Melody. "Melody, you know the lyrics to national anthem?" And somehow she gave them to me. I said, "Yeah, okay." So when we got to Corpus, I was terrified. I mean, I was terrified. So I was backstage, and they had a piano, an old piano, and I got the B flat. I said, "Do it in B flat." So there was no music on stage. So I just shut my mind, and I said, like, B flat, Mm, oh, say. So I locked in the key in my mind, and then they walked us through all the crowd, and a boxing match. You got people screaming, and it's not conducive to singing. So I just kept I spaced that all out and kept that key in my mind, and they walked me on the boxing ring and everything, and then I went at it, and halfway through, the people started reacting, and I got through it, and you know, it was so. That
Yeah.
time when I say they throw me into the water and I swim, it was so terrifying to me because I had never sang the national anthem, and that song is very hard to sing for all singers because it starts real low and then it goes octaves up, so it's real hard. That's the first time in my life that I was supposed to go on stage, and I was backstage pacing back and forth, and I almost ran out. I swear, I thought, you know what? I've never sang it. I can't do this. I'm getting out of here. And then I thought, if you leave now, you'll never be able to get back on stage. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So, and that's how that came about. But
Wow.
yeah, you talk about it, things that happen on the road, or so many things, and too many to remember. But my career's always been like this, Senor Joey Guerrero. Hey, Johnny, I got a song for you. Would you like to hear it? Yeah, let me hear it. And then next thing I knew, I was in the studio recording it. And I actually love the challenges. It's the adrenaline gets going, and you see your way through it, and
I
like
was just going to ask
the
that.
yeah, the
Let me
adrenaline.
ask you a question. So adrenaline, going to that word, you know, Roland has been on many stages for many, many years, and I've helped work stages. I helped be on some stages, especially out there in Mill Out Theater, but never by myself. And when you look out on that crowd, and I was like, holy, excuse my
Yep,
language, I
Yep.
mean, shit.
yep.
Did you ever get that feeling? Did you ever? Roland said, "Yeah, sometimes he has to shake it off when he looks out there on Fanfare." I said, "Man, when he threw me out at Fanfare, that I
It,
had to say, oh, that's what happens when you're at Fanfare
you're
3
in
days."
front and you can't hide. Yeah, everybody's looking at you. And
Yeah,
the way I learned to get through that, because even after 63 years,
yeah,
I still get a little nervous. And the day you don't get nervous is the day you lost the love of performing. But I taught myself something years and decades ago
uh-huh.
on how to get past that. And it's you're nervous and you're about to go on, and I talked to myself and I said, okay, are you scared? And I say, yes. And you're nervous? Yes. Okay, you're scared and you're nervous, right? Yeah. Okay, you got to go up and do it anyway, right? Yeah. So do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Just that simple. Do
yeah.
it. And
It,
and then I
it's
get up, and once I start singing, everything goes away. Everything goes
it,
away. But that's how I got
it's
myself through it. I had to admit to myself that I was scared and I was nervous,
Yeah.
and accept it, and then okay, I know it, so now get up and do it.
There you go. There you go.
So,
two
Johnny,
two
great.
two stages I got nervous at. The biggest one is the Tejano Music Convention in Vegas. Because
oh
when you
yeah,
get out there, all you see is lights coming at you, and
yeah, exactly.
you got a number of lights. And another one was the fanfare when Bob Olivo, the last rest in peace, the last fanfare he was at. He was rolling. I need you to come. I can't get up on stage. I need to bring these guys up, huh? Me on the main stage. I said, man, I'm used to the B-nest over there by front of mi tierra, the little stage.
See, that's what I call throwing you in the water, and you got to
You ain't
swim.
Yes.
lying. Okay, I'm gonna
You
tell you
know,
another story. Tejano Convention in Vegas. 'Cause rest in peace, Jesse Zarata. He's the one who gave me the world's tallest DJ. So when they introduced all the B-net jocks back then, I brought out a milk crate. I brought out a milk crate and stood up on the milk crate and introduced myself. I said, thanks the day he gave me the world's tallest DJ. I stood up on a milk crate on the podium.
Yeah.
I'll never forget
Well, you're
that.
not gonna believe, but I had to stand on one time to sing. So it's not that uncommon.
Yeah.
Right, right, right. Okay, let's bring it back. Johnny,
Yeah.
anything that you want to share with us before we leave? We played a version of Por un Amor, but we're going to close out with it. But we just want to hear any last comments from you, anything that you want to share. You mentioned your brother Jesse, and my Jesse had mentioned that Jesse was really instrumental in the family, in y'all's family.
Yes.
So, may he rest in peace. But I just wanted to acknowledge him because my husband, late
Yeah.
husband, really
He was
appreciated.
my friend,
Yeah.
and my brother Jesse is always with me.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Jesse said
I
he
mean,
was fantastic. He was a fantastic.
He's never left me.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a shout out
Okay.
Go ahead.
to some friends.
All right.
We have, of course, Valentina
Aw.
is in Vegas, and her son Israel, and my kids in Temple, and Mando and Margot and Temple, Fernandez and Esther and Maria and Stella, and all the good people in Temple, my hometown that I love. But and Modesto, of course, all my good friends here. But I have some friends in Roland Herrera, used to be a councilman from Texas. He lives in Kaiser, Oregon now. Good friend, Roland. And he and Adrian Morales, who's in Seattle, Washington. He's from the Valley. They came to see me in Sacramento here recently. So I wanted to say hello to them. I wanted to say hello to my friend, Raul Morin, who's in Idaho. He's from Sinton, Texas, cotton picker. And
Oh,
he's a cotton picker like myself, and he comes to see me all the
Right.
times in all the
and
shows.
me.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to say hello to all these people, and just Adrian Quesada, who Adrian Quesada asked me to sing a song on his album a couple of years ago. He recorded Chicanos de Texas who sing soul music, and he asked me to sing "Ain't No Big Thing." And then they took us to do the album at the New York City Lincoln Center outdoor
Cool.
concert. So Adrian, thank you for that. I love that event, and I hope you're doing good, brother. And just to everybody that's out there listening, uh, you know, uh, the world is pretty crazy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and you can easily fall into a mode that has always got you in a down, and there's plenty of things to be upset about it all. But as there are a lot of good people in the world,
Yes.
and you have to focus on that because those people are hurting just like we are.
Yeah.
And we have to look for those people and say hi. I know
Yeah.
what you're going through, and
Yeah.
I love you, and keep it going. And look at Wheatus, don't stop, don't give up. In the end, good will prevail. Good will
Yeah.
prevail. So that's my message.
Thank
Don't
you.
give up.
Can we play
Don't give
your
up.
downtown Boulevard song?
Oh yes,
Let's do that right
down
now.
on the
for them.
boulevard. Okay,
Okay, let's do it.
those are real places.
All right, go ahead. I'll stop it for you. You were saying that's real places. You were telling
Yeah,
us.
I'm talking about real people, real DJs, and a real record shop. And it's when I stayed there that year, after I was there, I wrote about my experience there.
Oh, here it goes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm cruising with my baby, and everything down on the boulevard, on the boulevard, down on the boulevard, on the boulevard. I'm cruising with my baby, we're grooving on a date. She tells me that she loves me, and I reciprocate. And my baby and I will hello to the wonderful people we know, as we cruise by real cool and real slow down on the boulevard, on the boulevard, down on the boulevard, on the boulevard. We spend the day with the radio. Frankie Peterman is on the air. We dedicate our favorite song to the people everywhere. And make a stop at the record shop. Sounds of music, look around. These LA bands sitting down. Have you heard their awesome cruising with my baby, and everything is fine. I'm cruising with my woman, and we're having a real good time. And my baby and I will hello to the wonderful people we know, as we cruise by real cool and real slow down on the boulevard, on the boulevard, down on the boulevard, on Whittier Boulevard, down on the boulevard, on the boulevard, down on the boulevard, on the boulevard, down on the boulevard.
Awesome, awesome. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining Jingle and Mingle with TeaCup Rose at Tejano Live Radio. We thank you, Johnny, for being here with us tonight, for sharing. Roland and Laurita, thank y'all so much for co-hosting with me. It is a wrap, and we thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
I
Any
did, and I
upcoming
thank
shows?
you. You know, I wanted to say thank you for playing that song because of what I was talking about. It was
Yeah.
perfect. Valentina and I were cruising up and down Whittier Boulevard, East LA, saying hello to people. And that's my message. Good will prevail over bad. Remember that.
Yep. Yep. Any upcoming shows, Johnny? You want to mention where you're going to be at?
I've got something, got some private shows here. They hire me to do like anniversaries, and I
Yeah.
do them with my tracks, the real tracks, a real track to Rancho Grande and Deagle and all of that. So I got a couple of those, and then I'm going to do an oldies show in the San Francisco area with a gentleman named Bobby Gold, who books me for oldies shows. So I'm going to be doing that, and then looking forward to going to North Carolina, hopefully, for Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, cool.
Once again, thank you all so much, and appreciate your comments, appreciate your support. Gracias a la gente que habla español. Johnny, you have a message in Spanish for us?
Pues nomás que siempre tengan fe, ayúdense y nunca dejen de escuchar la música, porque sin la música no hay mundo. Siempre sigan apoyando música.
I want to give it, let you know that Skeeter's out there. Say hi to Skeeter.
Brother
Sal.
Skeeter,
So
man.
I know Jimmy Lee out there in the valleys on live with us right now. We have somebody from New Zealand. I was looking at her. I was trying to find her name. We have somebody from Michigan. A lot of people from Michigan. We have people from Colorado, around the
Did you
world
say
right
New?
now, Johnny. They're tuned
Did you
in,
say
listening
New?
to this.
New Zealand,
Did you
yes.
say New Zealand?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I sent down on the boulevard to a radio station in New Zealand.
Oh, that's
How,
Wow.
crazy. They are
yeah, how
tuned
interesting.
in.
Hello, New Zealand.
Small world. It's not that
Yes,
small.
small world. Yeah.
Yes. I just wanted to give them
Well, thank you
all out
all.
there. Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all so very much. It's been a great experience, being on the air with you guys. Always something to talk about, and always
Yes.
uh, something new to come up. Like Roland and I were talking about that. I thought about it, Roland, right before we went on the air. I said when we were out there together in Highland, and it's all good. Just
Yeah.
keep on trucking.
That's
Yes.
it. That's all we
Oscar
can do.
is in the house too, so welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, so Teacup Rose, a little bit my podcast is I broadcast Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you would like to be on my show, please contact me. I am booked. I think my next booking available is April the 20th, I think. So I have all those dates after available. So if you want to be on, para los artistas en español, lo podemos hacer en español también. Les dije, yo soy bilingüe, solo que aquí estoy para acomodar a toda la música, porque sin la música, como dice Johnny, no tenemos nada. I work in the healthcare field, and music therapy is really, really, really good
Yes.
therapy. And this
Yes.
is why I love bringing the music, because one, I love it. The other, I appreciate the time and effort that you artists and Johnny, y'all have given a lot of time, a lot of years, a lot of sacrifices on the road
Yeah,
to
it's
bring
been a
us
long road.
enjoyment. And so this is why your stories are important to us. And I thank you for saying yes to be my guest.
Oh,
Gilly Menace
My
says a
pleasure.
shout out.
Hey,
Yes,
Gilly
Gil.
Menace.
hey, Gil.
It's
Okay. Okay. Well, we're ending
right.
it now. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. Que Diosito me los bendiga, me los cuide. Y muchas, muchas gracias. Thank you all so much. Ciao.
¿Para qué voy a negarlo? Me emborracho porque sufro, porque traigo aquí en el pecho muchas ganas de llorar. ¿Para qué voy a negarlo? Tú haces falta aquí en mi vida, y a pesar de tu perfidia, yo te quiero mucho más. ¿Para qué voy a negarlo? Tú eres dueña de mi amor. las ganas de llorar. ¿Para qué voy a negarlo? Tú haces falta aquí en mi vida, y a pesar de tu perfidia, yo te quiero mucho más. ¿Para qué voy a negarlo? Tú eres dueña de mi amor, pero yo soy un rebelde, y prefiero mi dolor. No que tú matas y entierras, carnal.